Self-awareness is really a curse, isn't it? I don't think people say that out loud very often. It's one of those things you're supposed to be grateful for. Like, if you're self-aware, you're already ahead. You're supposed to be proud of it. But sometimes it just feels like this heavy thing you have to carry around. Like you're always watching yourself from the outside. And it's exhausting. I think about how it started for me. There wasn't some big moment where I suddenly became self-aware. It just kind of crept in. One day I realized I was noticing everything I did. The way I talked, the way I reacted, the way I looked at people, the way I avoided things. I started seeing all the little mistakes I made, all the things I wished I could change. And it wasn't just about me. I started noticing how other people were growing too, how they seemed to be moving forward, getting better, figuring things out. And I wanted that. I wanted to be better. I wanted to grow. I still do. But sometimes it just feels like the more I notice, the more stuck I get. There's this weird thing that happens when you become really self-aware. You start to see your own patterns. You see the way you hold yourself back. You see the way you talk yourself out of things before you even try. You see the way you compare yourself to everyone else, even when you know it's not fair. And it's not like you can just turn it off. It's always there, in the background, reminding you of everything you're not doing, everything you could be doing better. I remember this one night I was lying in bed, just staring at the ceiling. I couldn't sleep. My mind was running through every conversation I had that day, every little thing I'd said or done. I kept thinking about this one moment where I laughed at something that wasn't really funny, just because I didn't want things to be awkward. And then I started thinking about why I do that, why I always try to make things easier for other people, even if it means I'm uncomfortable. And then I started thinking about all the other times I've done that, and how it's probably why I feel so tired all the time. It's like this endless loop. You notice something about yourself, and then you notice why you do it, and then you notice how it's affecting you, and then you notice that you're noticing it. It never stops. Sometimes I wish I could go back to when I didn't think so much, when I just did things without analyzing every little detail. I think I was happier then. Or at least I didn't feel so weighed down. There's a kind of peace in not knowing, in just living, without constantly checking in on yourself. But once you start seeing things, you can't unsee them. You can't go back. I think that's what makes self-awareness feel like a curse sometimes. It's not just that you see your mistakes, it's that you see them all the time. You see how you're not measuring up, how you're not growing as fast as you want to, how other people seem to be doing better. You want to be better, and that's good. You should want that. But it's hard to feel good about yourself when you're always aware of how far you have to go. There was this day, not too long ago, where I saw someone I used to know post about something big they'd accomplished. It was something I'd always wanted to do, but never really tried. I felt this mix of jealousy and shame, not because they did it, but because I knew I could have, if I'd just gotten out of my own way. I started thinking about all the times I'd talked myself out of things, all the times I convinced myself I wasn't ready, or good enough, or whatever, and I could see it so clearly. I could see the exact moments where I'd chosen comfort over growth. It hurt. It really hurt. But then there's this other side to it, because self-awareness isn't just about seeing your flaws, it's also about seeing your progress, even if it's small. I started doing this thing, and it's not really advice, just something I noticed. When I catch myself being really hard on myself, I try to remember one thing I did right that day, even if it's tiny. Like, maybe I got out of bed when I didn't want to. Maybe I answered a message I'd been avoiding. Maybe I just made it through the day. Sometimes that's enough. It doesn't fix everything, but it makes the weight a little lighter. I think a lot of people feel this way, but nobody really talks about it. We're all supposed to be working on ourselves, always improving, always growing. But what if you're just tired? What if you're so aware of your flaws that you can't see anything else? What if you just want to stop thinking for a while? There's this memory I have from when I was a kid. I was probably 8 or 9, I was playing outside, just running around, not thinking about anything. I wasn't worried about how I looked or what people thought or whether I was doing things right. I was just there. I miss that feeling. I miss not having to think so much. I wonder if it's possible to get a little bit of that back, even now. Sometimes I try to do things that make me forget about myself for a while. Not in a bad way, just in a way that lets me be present, like listening to music or going for a walk or just sitting with someone I trust. It doesn't make the self-awareness go away, but it gives me a break from it. And sometimes that's enough. There's another thing I've noticed, and it's kind of strange. Sometimes when I'm really deep in my own head, I'll catch myself being kinder to other people than I am to myself. Like, I'll forgive someone else for making a mistake, but I'll hold on to my own for days. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because it's easier to see someone else's humanity than your own. Maybe it's because we're all just trying to do our best, and it's hard to remember that when you're the one struggling. I think there's also this pressure that comes with self-awareness. Like once you see your patterns, you're supposed to fix them right away. You're supposed to have it all figured out, but it doesn't work like that. Sometimes just seeing the problem is all you can do for a while. Sometimes you're not ready to change it yet. And that's okay. I think it's okay to just notice things, to sit with them, to let them be there without forcing yourself to do something about it right away. There are days when I feel like I'm making progress, and then there are days when I feel like I'm right back where I started. I think that's normal, even if it doesn't feel good. Growth isn't a straight line. Sometimes it's just a slow, messy process. Sometimes it's just about getting through the day without being too hard on yourself. I've started to realize that maybe self-awareness isn't about fixing everything. Maybe it's just about understanding yourself a little better. Maybe it's about being honest with yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's about learning to live with the parts of yourself you don't like, instead of trying to erase them. I don't have a big answer. I don't think there is one. I just know that if you feel this way, you're not alone. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to wish you could turn it off. It's okay to feel like you're not getting anywhere, even when you're trying so hard. Sometimes I think the bravest thing you can do is just keep going, even when you see all your flaws, even when you know how much work there is left to do. Just keep going. Let yourself be proud of the small things. Let yourself rest when you need to. Let yourself be human. I believe in you. Now, believe in yourself.